Hello everyone! It is time to cover the story of Millhouse Manastorm and his lovely wife Maleficent, as on stream we discovered that quite a lot of people actually thought that he's already dead. The confusion is not surprising, as we have seen him take a fair few mighty punches to the face. We're getting ahead of ourselves though. Let's talk about the story of the Manastorms.
You're gonna love this!
The first time that we see Millhouse takes us back all the way to the Burning Crusade within the Arcatraz. This wing is part of the Tempest Keep, and it has traveled here because both Velen and Khadgar, they'd reached out into the Great Dark Beyond for allies to fight the Burning Legion, asking for aid and guidance, their presence being felt by the Naaru in the Army of the Light. This army, you might recall seeing during the Expansion Legion with Illyria and Trellian. They too were fighting against the might of the demons. Could not spare any soldiers from their army to go and protect Outland, but perhaps they could still do something to help Velen and Khadgar, help them defend themselves. The Naaru Adal, Mu'uru and Oros, they volunteered to assist. Aboard the Dimensional Fortress, they traversed the stars and arrived in an otherworldly corner of the Shattered Realm called the Netherstorm. Now, the Tempest Keep, that is a fortress with many different wings, like the Botanica, the Mechanar, the Eye, the Arcatraz, and the Exodar. Power and otherworldly technology on board, which drew the attention of Kilfus Sunstrider and his Blood Elves. They stormed the keep and took command of it. In turn, Velen and the Draenei, they charged the Exodar and fled the planet of Outland towards Azeroth. Meanwhile, the Arcatraz, it housed some of the most terrifying and dangerous creatures encountered by the Naaru. Its name, of course, a reference to our Alcatraz, a prison for creatures that the Naaru feared too much to let them roam free. With Kilfus taking over the complex, a new warden is put in place.
I knew the prince would be angry, but I have not been myself. I had to let them out. The Great One speaks to me, you see.
The Naaru believed the persuasive voice of Harbinger Skyris was silenced when they contained him and forced him into a long, dreamless sleep. The unfortunate warden of Arcatraz learned that the Naaru were wrong. Skyris had just enough energy to speak to Warden Malakar in a still, small voice. Time took care of the rest as he's releasing these great evils, including...
Behold, yet another terrifying creature of incomprehensible power!
Where in Bonzo's brass buttons am I? And who are... Oh, that is one mother of a headache.
What is this? A lowly gnome? I will do better, O Great One.
Lowly? I don't care who you are, friend. No one refers to the mighty Millhouse Manastorm as lowly. I have no idea what goes on here, but I will gladly join your fight against this impudent imbecile. Prepare to defend yourself, cretin! I just need to get some things ready first. You guys go ahead and get started. I need to summon up some water. Fantastic! Next, some protective spells. Yes, now we're cooking! And of course, I'll need some mana. You guys are gonna love this! Just wait! All right! Who ordered up an extra-large can of whoop-ass?
With Millhouse at our sides, we are able to overcome Skyris, a small, funny side character that suddenly showed up in this prison. Some people disregarded this as him accidentally being imprisoned here, not actually an evil mastermind that the Naaru could fear. He's just a gnome after all, right? But perhaps they were very, very wrong. If we take a look at the family history that we know, which isn't a whole lot, we do know information about his father, Magnus Manastorm. Most of the book is indecipherable with age, and so it was his fate to be cast into the Twisting Nether, never to return to Azeroth. Even his own son, Millhouse, turned on him in the end, though it is my opinion that Millhouse did it for reasons other than the fate of Dalaran and Azeroth. It is absurd to think that Magnus could ever free himself of the magical, wandering prison we crafted, but there is a tiny particle of doubt that pervades my thoughts. Still, we had no choice. Magnus had the impossibly rare problem of being more dangerous dead than alive. There are a few more legible notes on the creation of something called the Phantasm Zone, a prison dimension within the dimension that could fly through the Twisting Nether forever, its occupant able to see out, but never escape. His father Magnus had become so dangerous that they had to come up with Warcraft's version of the Phantom Zone, which I believe is, pretty much the place where Superman's greatest enemies get locked up in. That's quite a dad to have, and for Millhouse, he would not be seen again until the Cataclysm, now part of the Twilight Hammer cult. They're in league with the Black Dragon aspect Deathwing, who was broken out of the world to bring about the Hour of Twilight. Death and devastation was waiting for the world of Azeroth if heroes did not rise up. His destruction, it shattered the world pillar within Deepholm, which pissed off its ruler Pharazane. She's not too happy with what has happened here, with outsiders walking in her domain, so our mission is to earn her trust and restore the world pillar. While doing so, we uncover that Millhouse has actually become part of the cult, and in the Stone Core, he tries to bring about our total annihilation.
You're gonna be sorry!
Fun fact, when he runs to the next pack, he will grab some ice cream to recover his health, called Cho'gal and Furor Special Blend. You can find an autographed picture of them in Aldrich Valley, which gives you the To the Looter Go to Spoils achievement, while they also showed up in one of Ned Pagel's dreams. I can't even believe this one. You know those two loudmouth ruffians, Furor and Cho'gal? Well, in this dream, they somehow end up inventing something called ice cream and flavoring it with strawberries. Well, long story short, they end up striking it rich. If that weren't crazy enough, they then decided to quit the ice cream business and become adventurers. They travel all over the place and finally disappear into some portal. I woke up in a cold sweat after that one. Now, Cho'gal is the alias used by game designer Jeffrey Kaplan, while Ned Pagel is named after Pat Nagel, another senior game designer at Blizzard. Small bit of trivia for you there. Well, for Millhouse, despite his best efforts, his plans didn't really work out the way that he envisions.
Witness the full power of Millhouse Manastorm!
And that's where a lot of people believe that his story ends. But Millhouse is quite a resilient one. Stonecore was merely a setback, as during Mr. Pandaria, he went for loot and glory, being a special encounter within the Brawler's Guild. Hearthstone also saw him become part of the tutorial, a card that you should never really use, and one of the characters that you can pick for the battlegrounds. Then back to World of Warcraft. With Warlords of Draenor, we step through the red portal to an alternate reality to take on the threat of the Iron Hordes. Several buildings were constructed within our garrison to aid us on this mission. The inn, it often saw some interesting visitors like Millhouse.
You will all be my slaves! Hi.
But don't worry, hero, he has changed his ways, turned over a new leaf. Promises that he hasn't said doom in months. All he cares about now is saving the poor little orphans of Azeroth, whose parents have been taken by this tragic war. That's why he's here. Why, with just a single miniature iron star, he could provide clean water and power for all of the orphans of Azeroth, and no one could stop him. Who could refuse such an offer? Of course, a deadly powerful weapon is just what the gnome needs to save the poor orphans. He is quite impressed with how handy we are. So much so that he decides to become a follower in the garrison, even gives us a little toy to add another Manastorm to the world. As if it needed it.
I'm gonna light you up, sweet cheeks!
Come on now, clearly this is a gnome that we can trust. While many of the other followers, they're still stuck in the garrison, doomed to wander the lands of Warlords of Draenor forever. That would not be Millhouse's fate. With Legion, we saw classes set up powerful order halls to fight back against the recent demonic threats. Mages, they follow the storyline of taking on the Dreadlord Khafre Natir. Along the way, they're in need of the Nightborn Soulstone, something Millhouse is also interested in.
Hold on tightly, my mortal friend. A fall from this height would be a shame. The Archway vaults have likely been breached by Legion invaders, as well as our old friend, Millhouse Manastorm. Although he is far from trustworthy, I suspect we may be able to take advantage of his rather creative skills.
Hey, you! Help a fellow mage out! That demon Norvir has the key!
Millhouse found himself captured by the demons, so we collect the key from Inquisitor Norvir and we set him free.
That was a bit of a pickle. Thanks. You must be the one I've been hearing so much about lately.
Millhouse, you certainly are quite talented at getting yourself into a bind. Archmage Vargoth is after the Nightborn Soulstone as well. You two should work together to find him before he locates it.
What? The Nightborn Soulstone is mine! Let's go get it! Uh-oh, it looks like the inner vault has been breached. We'd better see if the Nightborn Soulstone has been taken. Blast! It's gone! That Vargoth is going to be sorry when I catch up with him. He was here very recently. He can't have gotten too far ahead.
The Nightborn Soulstone is mine. You are becoming quite a nuisance. Lady Kyraneth, meet me at the Oculus, once you've taken care of our overly ambitious friends here.
With pleasure.
This one's mine! You face Millhouse the Magnificent! No! He will not get away with this!
This is a terrible turn of events.
The mages are not quite successful in securing the Soulstone here, but the mighty Millhouse is willing to stick around, become our champion as the hunt for the Soulstone continues.
You seem
I
troubled.
must speak with the council. Until we meet again, my mortal friend.
It's painfully obvious that you could use someone of my considerable talent. Let us join forces to go after Vargoth and the Soulstone.
Eventually, they're able to fight their way through the Dreadlord's plots and schemes. They confront him and seal his demonic spirit within the Soulstone.
Finally, the Nightborn Soulstone! All mine. I mean, ours, of course.
Unfortunately, we will be unable to keep that promise, Millhouse. So long as the Soulstone serves as Kathran Atir's prison, it is best left untouched. I'm sure there are plenty of other powerful artifacts out there for you to find.
Blast! I'm not your friend anymore.
Heartbroken over this betrayal, the gnome runs out of the Order Hall. He doesn't like us very much anymore, but there is another that Millhouse seems to dislike even more. Remember how we found him within a Naru prison? Well, it turns out that Mrs. Manastorm, Maleficent, she's also broken some laws as she's locked away in the Violet Hold.
I have witnessed horrors that would put your darkest nightmares to shame. But I have never seen anything as terrifying as this! Gah, an angry gnomish inventor!
Finally free from that cursed mage trap. Such
Hey
a...
there! I was just enjoying a relaxing vacation on the beach when a chilling sense of dread washed over me. Just what are you up to, I wonder?
Wait! I recognize that voice.
Oh, Buttons, what have you done? Hurry, get her back in the cell!
Millhouse, you're next!
The Violet Hold has been repaired after the Northrend campaign and the Blue Dragon attacks on the prison. From the Hunter Order Hall campaign, we find out that she created a vessel that siphons the essence of a mage, binding their magic to the objects. When they captured her, she managed to shatter the vessel, something created to be used as a weapon, but could also be turned into bait, as the hunters use it for. As an engineering genius of undeniable prowess, Maleficent Manastorm seems to be the complete opposite of her husband Millhouse. Smart and resourceful, she is a force to be reckoned with. A force that is not happy with her husband right now, as you can earn an achievement by making fun of her. You do this either by popping the toy that was given to us by Millhouse all the way back in Draenor, or just DPS her low enough for Millhouse to, be helpful, lend us a hand.
Now, make fun of her hair. It won't help, but it'll make her really mad!
Why, you? No one insults my hair! No one!
Listen, Millie, I can explain.
Don't millie me, Millhouse Jeremis Manastorm! I'm coming for you!
That's not even my middle name! Need assistance? Thanks, a lot. You have no idea what you unleashed upon the world today.
Turning herself tiny, Millie simply walks underneath the door and out of the prison cells, right back into the big wide world of Azeroth.
On a completely unrelated note, I have to go take care of something.
And that's where the story of the Manastorms ends for the moment. Millhouse is apparently going on the hunt for Maleficent. Is their reunion going to be a love-filled one or a complete massacre? Only time will tell, I suppose. But for now, you're up to speed with their story. As always, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos. Leave a like if you enjoyed this one. And until next time, see ya!